unless you wanted me to just start
Well, I
collecting
thought we were
them.
just gonna pass them into Troutman and let him worry about it. Oh crap, that's me.
Okay, we'll call to order the August 28th Raymore Parks and Rec Board meeting. I need a roll call, please.
Member Bartow.
Present.
Member Cipolla.
Present.
Member Harris.
Present.
Member Heath.
Present.
Member Howdy Show.
Present.
Member Seamers.
Present.
Member Supple.
Present.
Chairman Troutman.
Present.
And Member Eastwood is absent.
Okay, stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. Looks like no personal appearances. So we will go to the acceptance of the minutes of the July 24th Park Board meeting. At this time, I'll entertain a motion.
I move we accept the minutes from the July 24th Park Board meeting.
I'll second.
Excellent. Any modifications? Not hearing any. The minutes stand. Vote of approval. All those in favor? Okay. Was 5 to abstain. What's that? Did anybody abstain? Okay, 3. So 5A, 1 absent, 3 abstain. Next are committee reports. Looks like we did not have any committees, so we'll pass on that. Staff reports, Director.
Thank you, sir. I will call on Recreation Superintendent McLean for a recreation report.
Thank you, sir. I have submitted a written report in the packet that you guys have in front of you. I'd like to highlight a few things. One, staff has been working very hard on the fall program guide. The fall program guide is set to release, probably be in mailboxes next week, so they've been plugging away in our rec track system, getting those all ready, so that way when it hits, we're ready for registration and for remainder of fall and early winter sports. Athletic Coordinator Brennan, he has been working very hard with dealing with equipment and coaches meetings this month as we've started all of our fall sports. And Coordinator Patrick, she wrapped up summer camp this year. I would like to highlight that we did have growing participation throughout the summer, and we ended on a higher note. As you can see in the budget under miscellaneous, that we did have a higher revenue stream this year, and it was higher than it has been the last 2 seasons. So I wanted to congratulate her on that. Myself, I've been working on prepping for the opening of the Raymore Activity Center. So had multiple meetings with vendors and for furniture, and then also concession operations and things of that nature. Also been working with interviewing some part-time facility staff and also setting up some interviews for part-time staff this month. And then just want to highlight that the farmers market, September is the last month for farmers market. So canceled a little early tonight due to the weather rolling in, but we've had some good turnouts, and I just want to remind everybody that it's still going strong, and we'd like to end it on a strong note through this next month. Also have Movie in the Park and for a special event at the end of the month. And then just want to highlight that we have had really good turnout on our fall registration, thanks to our communications team as well for pushing all of our advertising, so all of our numbers are slightly up, so that was good over last fall. So this time I'd like to entertain any questions.
Brian?
Yeah, Mr. McLean, I just want to congratulate you and your staff. I was looking at the sports. That's where we get our participants, right? That's where we're supposed to get our revenue from. And it's awesome to see increase on all those sports. Even though some are just small, increase is always a good number. And a big one, which really is kind of hard to determine because you can't do participants, is the United Soccer Club. The 7 teams, you know, and you figure there's at minimum 10 kids, right, per team. So that's 70. That's over 100 new participants, if I counted right, just for fall sports. That doesn't include tiny flag football and still doesn't talk about adult softball. So congratulations on that to you and your staff and everybody else who's helped in that. That's a good job. Thank you.
Thank you.
No one else? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Nathan?
Superintendent Rulo will give a parks report.
Thank you. I submitted a written report, but wanted to touch on a couple items. One, the park staff attended a pre-construction meeting for the Hawk Ridge Park project last week, and wanted to thank all of you that were able to attend the groundbreaking today. We think this is going to be a great project, and we're very happy to see it on its way. The other thing is weather pending. If it doesn't rain too much tonight, we'll be out at Ward Park tomorrow, starting to dig for the concrete for the barbecue grill and the trash can, and then that project will be pretty much wrapped up. So with that, I would entertain any questions.
Questions? Ryan?
One question, and this may just be a clarification of not knowing. The parks around Stonegate and Eagle Glen, the walking trails through there, is that maintained by the parks or is that the city?
Yes, sir. Yeah, the Parks Department takes care of all the trails.
Okay. I just, because I drive that way, the question, it's been mowed and kept up pretty nicely on the mowing, but as far as like weed eating and trimming around the stop signs of fire hydrant, there's just one fire hydrant you can't even see anymore. It hasn't been weed eated in a while. Is there a plan or a schedule that gets done on?
It started this week. We start up at 58 and kind of work our way all the way down through Eagle Glen and through there. One of our seasonals is just took off a week and a half ago to attend school, so it's kind of slowed down a little bit. But yeah, I'll make sure that gets looked at.
Thank you, sir.
Any others? Thank you. Director?
Thank you, sir. Just a quick thank you to those who were able to attend the groundbreaking for Hawk Ridge Park. If you were there, you heard me say that we're extremely excited about this project and what a great project it is for the city. As far as the park board historically is concerned, we've worked a long time and waited a long time for this park to be developed, and it was an exciting day, and I'm pleased to be a part of it, and thankful to have you guys with us on this project. So hopefully next spring, late winter, we'll have a ribbon cutting, and everything will go well. In keeping with the GeoBond projects, we had a progress meeting on TB Hanna today. We are working on our scope of work for the projects to be bid out, and it's looking like we'll have everything. Our goal is to have everything on the street in terms of bidding by the end of October, and everything back so that we can put our budget together, all our projects, and we can start work on that over the course of the winter and have that park finished as well early next spring. So late spring, early summer timeframe, depending on projects and timeline like that. So the GeoBond projects are moving along. Those are really the two main ones now that the RAC officially will take occupancy basically September 11th, where we take over on the RAC. And Centerview, obviously, we've been in there for over a year, so we've had a good run of building and projects, and that's all thanks to the voters. And we hope that we've made you guys proud on the way we're conducting our business and doing our stuff. Wanted to just highlight and say thank you to Steve and to John and all the staff and everything. I came back a couple years ago, and I had an idea for the mini mud run, and I gave that to the staff at the time, and we took off with that, and we started off thinking we would have just a few kids, 50, 60 kids, and they blew us away the first year. So we planned for a little more the next year, and they blew us away the second year. So this year we planned for a little more, and we tweak it. And we had just under 400 participants for the mini mud run this year. And at one point, late in the day of registration, I called the city manager and I said, I think we're going to need some police out there to help with some traffic control. And so we got the police out there, and Sergeant Billings and I were looking kind of at the top of the hill looking down, and at any given time, and if you were there, you'll understand this, but at any given time, 1,000 people all over the hillside of that park, and it's just fantastic seeing that. And so that, my vision for that event does not happen if, these two guys beside me here and their staff don't come together and take what I've seen, what's in my mind and what's in my head, and put that down, and you just see those kids running. And I know some of your own kids, my own kids, participated in it. It's just a blast. It's probably my favorite event that we do, and 400 kids, it speaks for itself. So great job to the guys for building the stuff, for Katie organizing it, for Greta for taking all the registrations. Todd, Todd's a good guy. We like Todd a lot. So I'm going to pay for that one. So also in City Council last night, I gave my monthly staff report in City Council. What's coming up within the council in terms of park related stuff, we've gone through all the contracts and everything, so we're moving on Hawk Ridge Park. So the next thing, we're going to start wrapping up some of our projects, our CIP projects. Steve just talked about Ward Park coming to an end. We've got several small concrete things that'll wrap up the Arboretum, that'll wrap up some of the legacy projects. Final acceptance for all of the Memorial Park projects that we had, the ADA access, the parking lot expansion, the trail enhancements, the Arboretum. That one large contract that we did will go to final acceptance through the council at the next council meeting. Following that, we'll do a final acceptance with the Recreation Park pedestrian trail that we did around the ball fields. We got a punch list item that we got to complete, and then that'll be done. So not only are we starting new projects, but we're wrapping things up and getting them off the books. So we've had a very busy year, but a very productive year. Unlimited Play, our all-inclusive playground, we had another progress meeting. We finalized out what we're calling our catalog, which is the promotional piece that we'll take when we start fundraising. We got the final draft of that today, so we're going to get together as a group and really plan and put a plan in place on how we're going to go and begin that fundraising. So that is very close to seeing that on the streets as well. So we've been busy, and it's just exciting to be a part of what we're doing in the city and in the parks. And I'm happy to answer any questions. That concludes staff report, sir.
Melinda?
What were if you remember approximately, the first, second, and now we know the third year's attendance on the Med Run? So the first and second.
The first year we were anticipating about 50 or 60. We ended up with just under 150. So the next year we thought, well, we'll get about 50 or 60 more than that, and we had 252 the second year. And then this year we had just under 400.
Okay, so if we continue to grow, is there plans to maybe break it down like between 2 days, or, even, I know last year we talked about, bringing the dogs in afterwards. I love this event. This is my favorite, but I think we could even, there's going to come a time, because I know that line when I was there was crazy long. Mm-hmm. So I definitely think we need to get more tables set up so we can get them in there quicker. But if we continue to grow, I think that's going to become an issue. So
we had a very productive follow-up meeting after the event, jotted down our notes, some things that we heard folks out, volunteers state and everything. So we have some good plans on improving what we called problem areas that, even though they didn't seem like problems while you're out there, a long line, anytime you have a big event, you're going to have lines. But we also address those areas. So in our mind, and from a programming standpoint, we see those as problematic. What can we do to ease that line or ease that tension or whatever the case may be? So we have some pretty good plans in place for next year. At this time, there'll come a point where participation plateaus, and we are what we are. We're just not there yet. We keep thinking every year we're going to plateau, and that's pretty much what we're going to be. And every year we just keep knocking it out of the park. So what we've done this year is our approach is, okay, we're seeing a growth of 100, 150 kids a year. So that's what we're going to plan on for next year. And that's how we're going to plan for next year's event, based on 550 to 600 kids. And that's where we're going to go into it. In terms of breaking it down into 2 days, no, it's too much. We don't have the manpower. We don't have the staff to do that and to keep that up. I mean, we want to contain it into a one-night event, but we can make some changes within the rules to help the flow go a little better. Right now, you can run it as many times as you want, you know. Things like that, we may have to, okay, it's a two-run limit or things like that. We don't want to do those things. We may get to the point where we have to, but right now, we just want to keep planning for growth and letting these kids run it as fast and as much as they can. We build it for once a year, so we want to use it. If they break it, we'll rebuild it for the next time.
Are we not wanting to do it on a Saturday because it interferes with too many sports? Or, because that's what initially I was thinking. I was like, oh, well, you could do the younger kids at this time and the older kids at this time, and, you know, you'd have it on a Saturday instead. But
we talked about going on a Saturday. First and foremost, we put it on a Friday night because it's in August. It's kind of what we call our back to school event. It's the last go around for these kids to just go out and get muddy and get crazy right before school starts the next week. So we didn't want to take up that last weekend for those families. At the same time, it also cuts down on our overtime because we can do all the building on Friday. We can't leave that up over the course of the weekend. So if we build it we have to build it Saturday morning, let them run, and then tear it down Saturday night. And frankly, we don't have the manpower to do all that. So we use our in-house hours, our regular 40-hour work week, to help that. So we only have a few hours of overtime, and it's just cooler in the evening. And
True.
so those are the three main reasons why we've tried really hard to keep it on a Friday night.
okay.
Anyone else? Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
No unfinished business, so we'll go to new business. Action item A, Director.
Thank you, sir. As the board is aware, each year during the budget, the park board is generous to allow us to attend conferences throughout the year. That requires some travel. One of the conferences that we not only enjoy, but it's a benefit to us professionally and to the city as a whole, is our national conference for Parks and Recreation. Typically that event is about a week long, and it's all over the country. Every year it rotates. You allow Steve, John, and I to attend just 3 positions to attend that conference. In recent history, it's always been around the first week of October, which has avoided our park board meetings. This year, it has backed up, and it's now the last week of September. That is within our budget. So what we're doing is we're asking the park board if we can postpone or cancel the September meeting to allow Steve, John, and I to attend that conference. However, if there should be any urgent business that needs to be attended by the park board, as we've done recently, where we use that second Tuesday of the month for a special meeting if need be, I've already secured that spot on the September 11th night that we can use council chambers if business needs to be taken up in lieu of just a regular work session. So we can accommodate any of that, but we are here tonight asking that we could cancel the September meeting and attend that training, and be happy to answer any questions.
Questions? Brian.
Mr. Chairman, I move we cancel the regularly scheduled park board meeting for the month of September in 2018.
I'll second.
Okay, at this time, I'll entertain a motion. Any questions? Sorry. Any discussion? No? Okay, at this time, we'll vote on it. All those in favor? Passes unanimously. Okay, at this time, it doesn't look like we have any public comment. Okay, we'll move on to board member comments. Start with you, Brian.
I have nothing this evening, except congratulations and thanks to all the staff. All the hard work you guys are putting in. We can see an increase in participation in the sports side and the event and programming side. Just keep up the good work. Keep us rolling. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you, Brian. Ryan?
Yeah, more of a question real quick, something that had been brought up. With the added Hawk Ridge parks coming on and the different projects going on, how much has been taken in effect is in the 2019 budget for next year as far as the additional maintenance cost? Has that already been factored in, or are we going to be sitting with this project coming available and being short-staffed next season?
From a maintenance perspective and a programming perspective on those facilities, we have already accounted in a lot of that in terms of manpower and being able to accommodate the additional maintenance, the mowing and things like that. A lot of that is getting it in place and seeing where we're at, how much, and it's a tricky scenario to budget and add staff when you don't really know what you need. So a lot of times, just like we've done Centerview as a prime example, we don't know what we need until we get in there and we see what it does. Same way with the RAC. We're going to approach Hawk Ridge Park and the addition of TB Hanna just like we've done those. Once we get, you know, it could be a struggle and it may not be as big of a need as we think, but we would like to approach it with a year and see where we're at. If it's causing things to drop in terms of how we maintain our levels of maintenance, if it's causing those things to drop, then we'll present to the board and to the city council a proposal on what we think we need. But right now, not to sound prideful, but we would like to just tackle it and see what we can do, and then have a realistic approach to when we come and ask for more help. One of the things that one of the things that we have addressed, and I mentioned this in our on our work session at the last meeting, and Mr. Fearborn mentioned this to City Council, is the addition of, or the expansion of our seasonal horticulturist being moved into a full-time position, and that position will be basically half horticultural landscaping and then half building tech, which, so in the winter months, they'll help with cleaning of the inside of the facilities, snow removal, sidewalks, things like that. And in the summertime, they'll work with us in terms of keeping landscaping and those types of things. So we did get some additional manpower help that we're very thankful for, because with the landscaping at the RAC and Centerview, we do need the help. So that was one of the positions that we did put in place.
Yeah, thank you.
Melinda?
I think the mud run was great. I had a lot of fun. I wasn't able to be there for very long, but what I saw was really good. I love the ideas that you guys had to construct some of the stuff that you did, and I watched a lot of kids coming through there just, you know, army crawling through some of the muddy water, and I'm like, oh, wow. You know, kids surprise you. Some kids I'd think, no, they're not going to do that, and they just, you know, plowed right through. So that was fun. Thanks. That was really, really great. And then the other thing is, I love coming in here and seeing all the artwork. I know you guys don't have anything to do with that, but you know, the art council and stuff like that, it's really nice to come in and have that there, so.
Jim?
No comment. Good. Thank you.
Michelle?
As always, thanks to staff for all you do, and I still don't know how you do it all, but it gets done, and every event seems to just get better, and you guys are just miracle workers. Mud Run, yes, awesome. Excited about TB Hanna and Hawk Ridge, and just a lot going on, so awesome.
Jenny?
I just want to tell you how proud I am of you guys and everything you do, and handling and balancing all these different projects we have going on. And Nathan, incredible in your dream of the Mud Run also, and how it has just grown. Did you ever even imagine? Did you ever imagine it would be that big? So, and I am so honored to be on this board and work with this group of people. But you guys are awesome. You should be so proud of yourselves too.
Rich?
Steve, to you and your staff from the Raymore United group, thank you for the fields. They're in phenomenal shape. They're mowed every week. They're striped, perfect. It makes it easier to practice. work on the different techniques we need to work on. So thanks to your staff on that.
And last, I'll just add, incredible on the mud run to think 3 years ago that we thought there'd be 400, and then you guys would plan for 550. That is awesome. Unfortunately, I had to miss it, but seeing the comments, the positive feedback from Facebook has just been awesome. I think the other thing for me and the board would be the last 3 years, this was a dream, all these things. And as we're doing ribbon cuttings, we're actually seeing reality. And the work that not only the board with me, the board members previous, but you guys have put together to make these buildings look awesome, and the things we've needed in Raymore for 20 years. And to be able to look at it, so appreciative of you guys, your staff, working and making it really easy on us, because it's your hard work makes it easy on us. So great job, and thank you. At this time, I'll ask for enter a motion for adjournment.
Mr. Chairman, I move we adjourn.
I'll second.
All in favor? This meeting's adjourned.